Good morning, YouTube. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the Rebuild series. We are getting ready to go train Wednesday. We've got legs. Yesterday wound up being just a super busy day, catching back up from our trip, all that kind of stuff, and didn't do much filming outside of the lifting. And then the lifting itself was just kind of a I don't even know what to call it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't very good. Mediocre day. Strength wasn't there, but coming off of traveling, I'm not surprised. I was thinking last night that I might have a plan, since we didn't deadlift, we didn't bench yesterday, so I think what I might do is squat today, bench tomorrow instead of overhead press, try and do a deadlift Friday, and then Saturday do an overhead press in the garage. We'll see. I'm gonna kind of think on it today, but I'm gonna get through these squats first. But feeling better overall than I did yesterday. I think I'm back to kind of my normal baseline, so ready to get back after it. Training wise, trying to think other notes. Just gonna try and make it through. We're in the middle of a heat wave again here. I think Friday it's gonna be 100, and that's without the feels like. So before that's even included. Yesterday it was like 94, but felt like 105, so it's pretty hot out there in the afternoon when I got my mow on. So, but I digress. That being said, I'm gonna drink the pre-workout, get warmed up, get this day rolling, see what we can do, and try and win this day. So let's go.
All right, YouTube, let's get this training footage review underway from this Wednesday leg day. First things first, the main goals for today were bring a little bit more intensity than we brought yesterday. The chest day yesterday was, middle of the road at best, and that's actually probably a little bit too generous, but we've just come off from traveling, sleeping poorly, eating poorly, felt bad, so we got better food in yesterday. We got better sleep in last night, and we lost 3 pounds of bloat, so it was time to kind of get back on track. So that was my main focus for today, which I think overall we achieved. During the warm-up, it did not feel like it was going to be a great day, but it turned out to be a pretty solid leg day overall. Warm-up felt fine, 3 minutes on the sled doing our joint mobilization, then getting into kind of more of our knee and ankle stuff. I have to say, I don't even really feel my knees too much anymore, so very pleased with that. Just need to solve my hip issue, and that's what I do with the joint mobilization. It works better some days than other, so I kind of think I still need to keep searching for that, since it doesn't, provide what I would say is great relief, but so I'm somewhere in the ballpark. But 2 rounds on the hyperextension and single leg extensions and lying leg curls just to get everything primed, hamstrings, posterior chain, lower back, before we got under the bar. So we had sets of 5 programmed for today for our main movements, following the course of 5-3-1 program. Took my time with the warm-ups, and in between these sets we're doing kind of I guess just whatever they're called, not isometric holds, but I would grab onto the rack itself and kind of just get myself into a deeper squat. I felt like last week I had an excessive amount of forward lean with the squat, and I'm just trying to practice getting better in the bottom of the squat, and kind of dynamically shift from one side to the other to get the hips opening up. I think that's my last piece of this squat puzzle, to turn things around fully for me. So I think what I figured out is all along I have had a hip issue, but I was compensating by letting that force travel to my knees for a long time. It's just kind of my guess, but we'll see if I can get the hip stuff solved. But as far as the squats themselves, we went 45 for 2, 95 for 3, 135 for 2 before we got into our working sets. Probably could have done a little bit more volume on the working sets, but I didn't feel great during the warm-up, so I didn't really want to waste any energy on the warm-up sets and was just looking to get my body exposed to the weights. So the actual working sets, we had 155 for 5, which I felt moved super slow. Gave me a lot of kind of like, oh boy, this workout's going to be terrible. But then we went up to 185 and we got it for 5. It felt pretty solid, I thought. And then we hit 205 for the top set, and I have to say we wound up getting it for 6 reps, which was a training cycle PR. I was super pumped about that. Did not think I had, after the 155, I knew that 205 was the prescribed top set, and I did not think I had that in the tank, but really pleased that it worked out well. A few of these reps were probably a little bit high, but we're going to count it as a successful day. And then from there, it was on to just a super basic accessory movement work. So we did a back-to-back-to-back superset, starting with back hyperextensions, leg extensions, and lying leg curls. Only did 3 rounds today, and then the goal for next week will be to do 4 rounds. So we increase the weight or we increase the volume. Today we got some training cycle PRs on the hyperextension. We did 70 pounds for 20 reps, and leg extensions we hit 130 for 20 reps. And then lying leg curls, we hit 110 for 9. So talked about last week how 110 seems to be my current leg curl plateau, but I'm gonna will my way through that. And then from there, it was a little bit of just 2 rounds of standing calf raises for 15 reps. Nothing crazy on the calves. Actually, last week was the first time that we had done those in a long time. And I was actually kind of sore for the next 2 days, I noticed, with the calves. So we kept it the same here. I don't really care about having big calves, if I'm honest, so I'm not super diligent with that or anything. I probably should hit them a little more. But from there, it was back to the garage. We did our GPP, which was seated dumbbell. We got a little bit of ab complex in today. And I did a little bit more hip mobility before we went out and lunged, and then just hit a few toes up RDLs. My hamstrings were feeling a little bit tight, so I didn't want to really deal with that while I lunged. So I just kind of used those as a little bit more of a stretch rather than actually working the muscle. Then it was out to lunge. We went 120 meters today. I didn't time it because normally on leg day I wuss out on the lunges, but today we got some in. Super wobbly. That's always kind of my judge if I do lunge on leg day. Kind of like after chest day, how many push-ups can I do? If I can do several, I know that I didn't ultimately push hard enough on the workout. But with as wobbly as I felt today, I'd say it was a good workout. From there, it was in to get our personal development, daily stoic, journaling, morning review, to-do list, all that kind of stuff, and then off to work to catch back up. So super glad to be kind of back in the routine. We've got to make up for lost time before we retest the maxes in the garage, but looking forward to it. So we're going to eat good, sleep good, and get ready to train hard tomorrow. So we're going to wrap it there. I hope you get 1% better. I hope you get some small wins. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you next time.